Alright, now we get to the good ones. Those are just playing questions. A scientific instrument, by definition, is something built as an extreme extension of our senses, founded upon the assumption our senses do a wonderful job accurately perceiving the world around us. Yet again, they're simply an extension of our senses. But you, Neil, say scientific instruments are for discovering things that our senses would not, or something that would confuse our senses, or that our senses can't measure. I've never personally experienced anything my senses didn't have the capability of perceiving. Could it be possible that your scientific instruments are what's confused and not our senses, considering our senses do an outstanding job of perceiving the world around us? I think I might add that to the repetitive question, Todd. Little Raz Tyson, wouldn't it be a conflict of interest that only scientists have access and knowledge to the scientific process used to make discoveries that only you can understand the value and meaning thereof? Why can't you teach us more about the entire process? This would benefit science and not blanket explanations before you can go that route. They give blanket explanations. They tell us just enough to say they explain it to us, and they explain it in a way to not provoke any further questioning. They don't like questions. That's why Neil deGrasse Tyson cops an attitude. Atheist. If you swap sides to this side, God's giving you a job, and your job is to question science like you question God. So y'all atheists better get to asking some goddamn questions. Alright, wouldn't it be a conflict of interest that only scientists have access and knowledge to the scientific process used to make discoveries that only you understand the value and meaning thereof? Why can't you teach us more about the entire process? This would benefit science. If you do in fact have the information you claim to have, and the information is true as you boldly assert it to be, would my questions not be easy to answer? Theoretically, they would be. Just because you get repeated results from an experiment does not make that experiment true. If I have a broken calculator and my calculator says 2 plus 2 equals 13 every time I try to add 2 and 2, does that mean that 2 plus 2 equals 13, or does that mean my calculator is broke? You do the math. So, Neil deGrasse Tyson, because you can theoretically make 2 plus 2 equal 13 with a scientific instrument, a little calculus, and a hypothetical theoretical explanation that sounds legit, does that mean 2 plus 2 equals 13, or does it mean you're full of shit? Neil, the only information that we can extract from the material reality comes from our interaction with our surroundings, because that's what makes up our material reality. Since space does not at any point in time ever react with our material reality, how do you suppose an explosion, which would have had to have happened in the material reality, would have created space and caused space to expand indefinitely? I want to know how you can tell Jesus helped me write these questions, because I'm reading these questions thinking, damn, that's a good question. If space is constantly expanding, then it's constantly being created. So is the outer edges of our universe constantly exploding, or is space constantly making itself? Or are you constantly full of shit, Neil deGrasse Tyson? Neil deGrasse Tyson, what exactly is a spatial dimension, and how does it work? Why does the Big Bang skirt around attempting to provide an explanation for the existence of space, Neil?